Momo Ayase is arguing with her boyfriend. After the breakup, she tells her friends she wishes she could meet someone like Ken Takakura. Momo saves the protagonist from being bullied. He says UFOs are real. Momo says ghosts are real. Neither believes the other, so they agree to a contest. Momo will search for aliens, and he'll search for ghosts. Momo heads to an abandoned hospital, while he goes to a tunnel. We flash back to Momo's childhood. Her grandmother made her perform a good luck ritual before going outside. Everyone mocked her, but Momo believed in her grandma. The protagonist gets chased and devoured by Turbo Granny. Momo is surrounded by aliens seeking to regain their reproductive abilities through her. Turbo Protag, possessed by Turbo Granny, arrives to help Momo. Momo remembers her grandma's advice and breaks free. After defeating the aliens, Momo exorcises Turbo Protag. Turbo Granny tells them that if they want to recover his weenie, they'll need to return to the tunnel. As they escape, Momo asks for his name. And of course, it's Ken Takakura. Momo decides that Ken's new name will be Okarun, and they head back to her place to regroup. As soon as Okarun steps inside, he starts burning. Momo realizes that her house's talisman is up. They enter the house realizing Momo's grandma is gone. Okarun admits that guys like him usually don't get the chance to be friends with girls like her, which is why he was so excited when Momo showed interest in the paranormal. The doorbell rings. When they check it out, they're confronted by the Flatwoods monster, who apparently wants their bananas. After running for a bit, Okarun thinks that transforming into Turbo Granny might give him the power to defeat the monster. However, he realizes that his human body can't handle the speed of Turbo Granny. As the battle continues, Momo is slammed into the wall by the gate and repeatedly pounded by the monster. But this was her plan all along, to endure the hits so she could place the talisman back on the gate. After the battle, Momo collapses, and Turbo Granny takes control of Okarun's body. Granny works as a psychic on a TV show. When she gets home, she sees Okarun about to devour Momo. Granny quickly intervenes and easily defeats him. Momo wakes up to find Granny downstairs, with Okarun nowhere in sight. Granny tells her he's at the main shrine, where she finds him eating. Granny explains Turbo Granny's power and how she fused with a bound spirit in the tunnel. Granny suggests they challenge Turbo Granny to a game of tag to lure her out of her territory, where she's the weakest, and defeat her. She also explains that her own powers are tied to the god of Kamigo City, so she won't be any help outside of the city. Okarun, embarrassed that Momo had to save him, apologizes and vows to do better. While Momo practices sensing auras, Granny tries to guide her, but it doesn't seem to work. While Okarun is pooping, Turbo Granny appears, announcing the race will happen that night. Momo and Okarun gear up in evil spirit-proof outfits and head to the tunnel for the race. Momo and Okarun enter the tunnel only to be ambushed by two giant Turbo Grannies. They attempt to flee using Okarun's powers, but realize Granny has taken them back. Momo challenges Granny to a game of tag, but Granny catches her right away. Okarun eats Granny's uppai, and she's forced to re-enter his body. Momo attacks, and Granny, flustered, breaks her free. Momo and Okarun are pursued by a giant crab. Okarun transforms, allowing them to escape to a nearby onsen, where Momo plans to boil the crab. After escaping, they are met by zombies. Okarun goes full throttle, and they escape. However, Granny is right there, catching up as they board a train. It turns out Momo had a plan all along, to lure Granny to the edge of Kamigo, where Ayase is waiting. Momo overpowers Granny, but in the process catches a glimpse of spirits, young schoolgirls who had suffered and been cast aside. After dinner, Okarun leaves to go home, and Momo says, "See you tomorrow," reassuring him that they're still friends, even beyond the trials they've faced together. Momo waits for Okarun at school. During class, they're both itching to talk to one another. After class, they search for each other. They finally meet, and Momo's friends see them, assuming they were kissing. Okarun realizes something is missing. He tries to tell Momo, she ignores him, and he says, "Is it that embarrassing to be friendly to me?" Okarun bumps into Era, and they start chatting. Era calls him very kind. Momo sees them talking. As Era walks away, Momo hears her mocking Okarun, saying she was toying with his feelings. Momo drops a washtub on Era's head. She grabs Okarun, saying, "Let's go home," while calling her stupid. Momo and Okarun apologize to each other and reveals his tama are gone. Ayase senses Turbo Granny energy, slaps Okarun while Momo grabs it. The energy transfers to the doll, and they catch it. Turbo Granny says if she dies, Okarun's tama will be gone. Okarun transforms, proving that while her consciousness is in the cat, her spirit powers are inside him. Ayase is the only one who can return Turbo Granny's consciousness. They make a deal for the tama, but she forgot where she dropped them. Momo and Okarun search for Okarun's missing tama. Rumors about Momo spread around school. Okurin has been focused on making friends with Momo that he never realized how cute Momo is. Okurin finds Turbo Granny hiding in his bag. Momo sees them in the hallway and Okurin runs away. Momo learns someone is spreading rumors about her. That someone is Ira. Ira can see Momo's spiritual powers and is convinced she is the chosen one to fight the spirits. Ira's friends bring her a Bible and cross. She claims she sees a woman in a red dress. Turbo Granny says if a human possesses the Tama, it can awaken their spiritual powers, allowing them to see spirits and be seen by spirits. Ira invites Momo for a talk, which quickly turns into an ambush. Ira attempts to perform an exorcism on her. Okurin arrives and says she's not the strange woman. She's actually the one being targeted. The strange woman appears. Okurin tries to save Ira, but is eaten. As so is Ira, and so is Momo. Turbo Granny reveals the cross as a lighter. Momo ignites her hair on fire, forcing the spirit to spit them all out. As the yokai chases Okurin and Ira, her hair tangles with the structures of the building. Okurin goes full throttle and sends the yokai flying. They recover one of Okurin's jewels, but quickly realize Ira has died. Momo and Okurin try CPR, but it doesn't work. Momo prepares the transfer. We flashback lost in the world, briefly meets with Ira once again before she passes away. Ira comes back to life. She beautifully expresses her emotions to Ira, apologizing for not being the best mother she could be. But before she passes, Ira runs to give her one last final hug and tells her, "I love you," sending her to a kinder world. Ira continues to accuse Momo of being a demon and vows to bring her down, convinced she's controlling Okurin. Okurin gets one ball back. At school, Okurin makes excuses to avoid hanging out with Momo after class, raising her suspicions. Ira interrupts Okurin's workout session to confess her love. She tries to kiss him, but is denied. When they fall to the ground, Momo stumbles upon the scene. From her perspective, it looks like Okurin is making out with Ira. Momo believes Okurin lied to her, and the incident lingers in her thoughts. Suddenly, everyone in the school disappears, leaving only Okurin, Ira, and Momo. Momo encounters a dinosaur in the hallway that nearly takes her head off, while Okurin and Ira face off against a boxing alien. Before Okurin can engage, the aliens from before appear and immobilize him. Ira gets blasted to the floor. As the aliens prepare for the operation, Okurin is saved by Ira's newly awakened powers. Ira fights back against the aliens, but as she gets knocked down, Okurin stops searching for his clothes to help her. Despite their efforts, Okurin and Ira are overwhelmed until Momo arrives, using her psychic powers to repel the aliens and free them. The gig worker transforms into a Japanese businessman as the fight intensifies. Suddenly, a flood of green water appears, bringing Nessie. While Okurin and Momo escape, Ira is snatched. Okurin dives to save her, but realizes he can't swim. Momo uses her psychic powers to propel Okurin like a fish, allowing him to recover Ira. The aliens fuse together, forming a massive threat. Momo weakens their attack by sending them briefly above water, giving Ira a chance to latch onto the alien with her hair, opening a path for Okurin to run and deliver the finishing blow. Then, all of a sudden, the trio wakes up naked back at school. While recovering in the nurse's office, Okurin explains what happened that day to Momo. They almost share a kiss until Momo's friends burst in unexpectedly. Ira confesses to the class that she was the one who spread the rumors about Momo. Momo and Ira encounter the boxing alien again, but he's too injured to fight. They bring him to Momo's house, tend to his wounds, and feed him. The alien reveals he's working to support his son, who needs constant feeding to survive. When Okurin offers to help, the alien declines. Seiko notices the alien's blood is actually milk, so she promises to send him home with a cow to feed his son indefinitely. Momo, Ira, and Okurin beg Seiko for new school uniforms to replace their lost ones. Suddenly, the doorbell rings, and a new guest arrives. It's Gigi, Momo's childhood friend and first love. Seiko reveals that Gigi will be living with them. Momo tells Okurin it's his turn to say see you tomorrow. Gigi tells Momo that he recently started seeing ghosts, and that he tried all the exorcists to help, but they all referred him to Seiko. Gigi attends their school and instantly becomes popular. Okurin decides to try extra hard to get Momo's attention away from Gigi. As Okurin is working out, Momo joins to have lunch with him. Then, Gigi shows up. Seeing the history and chemistry between Momo and Gigi, Okurin finally decides to give up his pursuit of Momo. All of a sudden, someone comes running at them with what seems to be Okurin's last ball. They decide to take pursuit, chasing him throughout the city. As the man broke apart, Momo was able to grab his heart and uses it to identify his location. Taro hears Hana in the junkyard and makes a riveting speech about love and passion, seemingly inspiring Okarun. Taro agrees to a deal. Hana stays at Momo's house, while Taro stays at the school and visits Hana at night. Okarun stays for dinner and notices the chemistry between Gigi and Momo. Determined not to lose out, he starts vying for Momo's attention. On his way to see Hana, Taro is hit by a truck but still manages to see her. Gigi has a flashback about the mysterious creature. On the way to Gigi's house, Okarun and Gigi bond over their shared love of UMAs, aliens, and the supernatural. At Gigi's house, Okarun starts noticing strange occurrences. To give the two boys a chance to bond, Momo heads to the onsen. Gigi confronts Okarun, asking if he likes Momo, leading to a squabble over their feelings for her. At the onsen, Momo is joined by 5 men. Okarun notices a room has appeared next to the foyer. As Momo starts to defend herself, one of the men grabs her and starts to drown her. Inside the house, Gigi smashes through a wall, revealing a room full of ominous papers.